Hey everyone, it's so good to be here with you today. I just sat down with my cards and I have to tell you, the energy coming through for Taurus right now is something I really needed to share with you. I've been thinking a lot about what you all might be going through, and when I asked the cards about the blessing hidden in your current struggle, they had so much to say. You know, I think we often forget that sometimes the hardest moments in our lives are actually preparing us for something incredibly beautiful. And for Taurus, that's exactly what's happening right now. So I pulled some cards, and I want to walk through this with you because I think you're going to find some real clarity here. Let me start by saying this. Whatever you're facing right now, whether it's a challenge at work, a relationship that feels stuck, or just this general feeling of being weighed down by life, there's a reason for it. And I know that sounds like one of those things people say to make you feel better, but I'm being completely serious. The cards are showing me that you're in a really transformative period, and what looks like a struggle on the surface is actually the universe reshaping your path. So let's get into the reading. I'm going to go through each card slowly because there's so much depth here, and I want to make sure you really understand what's coming through for you. The first card I pulled is the Page of Cups, and this one really got my attention. The Page of Cups is all about emotional new beginnings and messages from the heart. What I'm seeing here for Taurus is that in the midst of whatever difficulty you're experiencing, there's actually a very gentle, almost childlike energy trying to emerge. It's like your soul is asking you to look at your situation with fresh eyes, with curiosity instead of fear. I think what's happening is that you've been so focused on the weight of your current circumstances that you've forgotten how to dream a little, how to be open to possibility. The Page of Cups is telling me that the blessing in your struggle is that it's forcing you to reconnect with your emotional truth. You're learning what truly matters to you, what makes your heart feel alive, and what you actually want versus what you thought you were supposed to want. This card often shows up when someone is about to receive an important emotional message or insight. For you, I feel like this message is coming from within. It's your own heart telling you that it's okay to want something different. It's okay to hope again. It's okay to feel excited about possibilities even when things feel heavy. The struggle you're in is teaching you emotional honesty, and that's going to be such a powerful gift as you move forward. I also want to mention that the Page of Cups can indicate creative inspiration or a new project that comes from the heart. So if you've been feeling blocked creatively or like you don't have anything to offer right now, this card is saying the opposite. Your struggle is actually filling you with experiences and emotions that are going to fuel something really meaningful. You're gathering material for your next chapter, even if you don't realize it yet. The second card is the Two of Pentacles, and this one speaks so directly to what Taurus is dealing with right now. The Two of Pentacles is about juggling responsibilities, trying to maintain balance when everything feels like it's constantly shifting. I'm getting the sense that many of you are dealing with multiple challenges at once. Maybe you're trying to handle financial pressures while also dealing with personal issues. Maybe you're balancing work demands with family needs. Whatever it is, you're in this constant state of adjustment. But here's what I find really interesting about this card in your reading. The Two of Pentacles isn't a card of failure or overwhelm, even though it can feel that way when you're living it. It's actually a card of adaptability and skill. The figure in this card is successfully keeping both pentacles in motion. They're dancing with the challenge. So the blessing hidden in your current struggle is that you're developing incredible resilience and flexibility. You're learning how to pivot, how to adjust, how to keep moving even when conditions aren't ideal. And Taurus, I know that's not comfortable for you because your sign loves stability and predictability. You want things to be settled and secure. But what this period is teaching you is that you're actually much more capable than you realized. You can handle uncertainty. You can adapt. You can thrive even when things are constantly changing. I also see this card as indicating that you're learning about priorities. When you're juggling a lot, you have to get really clear about what matters most. You can't give equal energy to everything. So this struggle is forcing you to make choices, to set boundaries, to say no to some things, so you can say yes to what truly matters. That clarity is going to serve you so well in the future. And there's another layer here. The Two of Pentacles often appears when someone needs to find joy and playfulness even in challenging circumstances. The figure is dancing, remember? So part of your blessing is learning that you don't have to wait until everything is perfect to enjoy your life. You can find moments of lightness and even fun while you're working through difficulties. That's a really mature and healthy approach to life, and you're developing it right now. The third card is the Three of Wands, and I got a little surge of excitement when I turned this one over because it's such a hopeful card. The Three of Wands is about expansion, planning, and looking toward the future with anticipation. It's the card of someone who has planted seeds and is now watching for the ships to come in, so to speak. What this tells me about your current struggle is that it's not actually a dead end. It's a launching point. You're being positioned for something bigger and better than what you had before. The difficulty you're experiencing is clearing away what wasn't working and making space for opportunities that are more aligned with who you're becoming. I feel like some of you are dealing with situations where you can see a better future, but you're not there yet. You're in this in-between space where you've outgrown your current circumstances but haven't quite arrived at the next level. That's uncomfortable, but it's also necessary. You need this time to prepare, to plan, to get clear on your vision. The blessing in your struggle is that it's giving you perspective. You're able to see further than you could before. When things were comfortable and easy, maybe you weren't motivated to look beyond your immediate situation. But now, because things are challenging, you're forced to think bigger, to consider possibilities you wouldn't have otherwise explored. This card also suggests that you're learning about patience and timing. The Three of Wands is about waiting, but it's active waiting. You're not just sitting around hoping things get better. You're doing the work, making the plans, positioning yourself for success, and the universe is taking note of that. Your efforts are setting things in motion that you can't quite see yet, but they're happening. I also want to point out that the Three of Wands often indicates collaboration and partnership. So part of your blessing might be that this struggle is connecting you with people who will be important to your future. You might be meeting mentors, allies, or future business partners right now without even realizing it. The universe is weaving together all the right connections. The fourth card is the Hierophant, and this is a really powerful card to appear in a reading about finding blessings in struggle. The Hierophant represents tradition, wisdom, learning, and spiritual guidance. It's about finding meaning and structure, about connecting to something larger than yourself. What I'm getting from this card is that your current struggle is actually a spiritual initiation. You're being asked to deepen your understanding of life, to connect with your values, to figure out what you truly believe in. This isn't just about getting through a difficult time. It's about growing as a person, developing wisdom, becoming someone who can guide and support others because of what you've learned. The Hierophant often appears when someone needs to seek guidance or teaching. So I'm wondering if part of your blessing is that you're open to learning in a way you weren't before. Maybe you're reading books that are changing your perspective, or talking to people who are sharing valuable insights, or exploring spiritual practices that are bringing you comfort and clarity. Your struggle has made you humble enough to admit you don't have all the answers, and that openness is allowing real wisdom to come in. This card also speaks to finding or creating structure during chaotic times. The blessing in your struggle might be that you're developing systems, routines, or frameworks that help you feel grounded even when external circumstances are unstable. Maybe you're establishing a morning practice, or setting clearer boundaries, or creating financial systems that give you more security. Whatever it is, you're building a foundation that will support you long after this difficult period ends. The Hierophant can also indicate working within existing systems or institutions in a way that serves you. So if you're dealing with bureaucracy or traditional structures that feel limiting, the blessing might be that you're learning how to navigate these systems effectively. You're developing patience and strategy. You're learning that sometimes you have to work within the rules to create the change you want to see. And there's a spiritual dimension here too. The Hierophant suggests that you're being supported by spiritual forces, even if you can't always feel it. Your struggle is not random or meaningless. It's part of your soul's journey, and there are guides and teachers in the unseen realms who are helping you through this. The fifth card is the Lovers, and I have to tell you, when this card shows up in a reading about struggle, it's usually pointing to something really significant. The Lovers is about choice, alignment, and union. It's about coming into harmony with yourself and making decisions that reflect your true values. For Taurus going through a difficult time, the Lovers is telling me that the blessing in your struggle is that it's forcing you to make important choices. You can't stay on the fence anymore. You can't keep trying to please everyone or maintain situations that aren't serving you. This challenging period is clarifying what you really want and pushing you to choose it, even if that choice is scary. I'm also getting that this card is about self-love and self-acceptance. Maybe the struggle you're facing has made you question yourself or has brought up insecurities. But the blessing is that you're being called to love yourself more deeply, to accept all parts of yourself, to choose yourself even when it's hard. You're learning that you can't wait for external validation or perfect circumstances to value yourself. You have to decide that you're worthy, right here and right now. The Lovers also speaks to relationships and partnerships. If your struggle involves relationship challenges, the blessing might be that you're learning what a healthy relationship looks like. You're understanding your needs better. You're realizing what you will and won't accept. And if you're single, this struggle might be preparing you to attract a partner who is truly aligned with you, because you're becoming clearer about who you are and what you want. There's also something here about integration and wholeness. The Lovers represents the union of opposites, the coming together of different parts of yourself. So your struggle might be showing you aspects of yourself that you've been ignoring or rejecting. Maybe you're discovering strength you didn't know you had, or vulnerability that you've been afraid to show. The blessing is that you're becoming more whole, more authentic, more fully yourself. This card makes me think that whatever you're going through, it's ultimately about love. Maybe you're learning to love yourself better, or to love others more authentically, or to recognize love in unexpected places. Your struggle is teaching you about the true nature of love, which is not about perfection or ease, but about commitment, choice, and showing up even when things are hard. The sixth card is Wheel of Fortune, and this one really shifts the energy of the reading. The Wheel of Fortune is about cycles, change, karma, and destiny. It reminds us that nothing stays the same forever, that life is constantly moving and evolving. The blessing in your struggle, according to this card, is that you're at a turning point. The wheel is about to turn in your favor. What feels difficult now is actually the low point before an upswing. You're learning about the cyclical nature of life, understanding that challenges don't last forever, that change is the only constant. This card suggests that your current struggle is part of a larger pattern or cycle in your life. Maybe you're completing a karmic lesson or finishing a chapter that needed to close. The difficulty you're experiencing is the final push before a breakthrough. It's the darkness before dawn. And the blessing is that once you move through this, you'll be at a completely different level. You'll have access to opportunities and experiences that weren't available to you before. The Wheel of Fortune also speaks to luck and destiny. I'm getting the sense that some seemingly random events in your life right now are actually not random at all. They're part of a larger plan, a bigger picture that you can't fully see yet. Your struggle is positioning you exactly where you need to be for the next phase of your journey. Doors are about to open that you didn't even know existed. This card is also about accepting what you cannot control and focusing on what you can. The blessing in your struggle is that you're learning the difference between the two. You're releasing the need to control every outcome. You're trusting that there's a larger intelligence at work in your life. And that surrender is actually what allows the wheel to turn in your direction. I also want to mention that the Wheel of Fortune can indicate unexpected good fortune coming from unexpected places. So even though you're struggling now, keep your eyes open for surprises. Help might come from a direction you weren't looking. An opportunity might appear out of nowhere. The universe works in mysterious ways, and this card suggests that something surprisingly good is on its way to you. The seventh card is Ace of Swords, and this is such a powerful card of clarity and breakthrough. The Ace of Swords represents truth, mental clarity, new ideas, and cutting through confusion. It's the sword of truth that cuts away illusion and reveals what's real. The blessing in your struggle is that you're gaining incredible clarity. All the confusion and difficulty you've been experiencing is actually burning away the fog, and you're starting to see things as they truly are. You're understanding situations and people with a level of clarity you didn't have before. You're seeing through pretenses and getting to the heart of matters. This card tells me that your struggle is sharpening your mind and your discernment. You're learning to think more clearly, to ask better questions, to see through manipulation or false narratives. You're developing the ability to cut to the truth quickly, and that's a skill that will serve you in every area of your life. The Ace of Swords can also indicate a breakthrough moment, a sudden realization that changes everything. So even though you're in a difficult period, I feel like you're on the verge of an important insight or understanding. Something is about to click into place mentally, and when it does, you'll see your situation from a completely new perspective. That moment of clarity will show you the way forward. This card also speaks to communication and speaking your truth. Part of your blessing might be that you're finding your voice in a new way. Maybe you're learning to advocate for yourself, to express your needs clearly, to say what needs to be said even when it's uncomfortable. Your struggle is teaching you that your words have power, that honesty is essential, that you deserve to be heard. The Ace of Swords represents justice and fairness too. So if you're dealing with a situation that feels unfair or unjust, this card suggests that truth will ultimately prevail. You're learning to stand up for what's right, to fight for fairness, to use your intelligence and communication skills to create better outcomes. The 8th card is 9 of Pentacles. And I love seeing this card in your reading because it's such a card of independence, self-sufficiency, and enjoying the fruits of your labor. The 9 of Pentacles shows someone who has worked hard and is now able to appreciate the results. What this tells me about the blessing in your struggle is that you're developing true independence and self-reliance. Whatever challenges you're facing, they're teaching you that you can take care of yourself. You're discovering your own strength, your own resourcefulness, your own ability to create the life you want. This card suggests that your struggle is actually an investment in your future. The difficulties you're working through now are building skills, character, and resources that will pay off beautifully down the road. You're planting seeds that will grow into something really abundant and satisfying. I'm also getting that the 9 of Pentacles is about self-worth and self-respect. The blessing in your struggle is that you're learning to value yourself properly. You're understanding that you deserve good things, that you don't have to settle for less than your worth, that you can create a life of quality and beauty through your own efforts. This card often appears when someone is learning to enjoy their own company and to be comfortable alone. So if part of your struggle involves loneliness or feeling isolated, the blessing might be that you're developing a really healthy relationship with yourself. You're learning that you can be your own best company, that you don't need constant external validation or entertainment, that there's deep satisfaction in simply being present with yourself. The 9 of Pentacles also speaks to practical mastery and competence. Your struggle is teaching you practical skills, helping you become more capable and confident in handling the material aspects of life. Whether that's financial management, career skills, or just basic life competence, you're leveling up in ways that will make your future so much easier and more comfortable. And there's something about refinement and quality here too. The blessing in your struggle is that you're learning to appreciate the finer things in life, not in a materialistic way, but in understanding what truly brings you joy and satisfaction. You're developing taste, discernment, and the ability to create beauty and comfort in your environment. The 9th card is 3 of Swords, and I know this can be a difficult card to see, but in the context of finding blessings in struggle, it has important wisdom to offer. The 3 of Swords is about heartbreak, pain, and difficult truths. It's the card of emotional wounds and necessary endings. Here's what I think this card is saying about your blessing. Sometimes the greatest gift is actually the pain that forces us to grow. The 3 of Swords suggests that your struggle might involve heartbreak or disappointment, but that heartbreak is cracking you open in a way that's ultimately healing. It's removing illusions, teaching you about reality, helping you understand yourself and others more deeply. The blessing in this pain is that it's making you more authentic and more real. You can't hide from truth when you're hurting. You can't pretend things are fine when they're not. So your struggle is teaching you emotional honesty, the courage to feel your feelings fully, the wisdom that comes from moving through pain instead of around it. This card also speaks to the necessity of certain endings. Sometimes things need to hurt before they can heal. Sometimes relationships or situations need to be cut away, even though it's painful, because they're preventing your growth. The 3 of Swords suggests that your struggle might involve a necessary ending or release, and while that's painful now, it's clearing space for something better. I also see this card as indicating that you're developing emotional depth and maturity. You're learning that you can survive heartbreak, that pain doesn't destroy you, that you're resilient enough to feel difficult emotions and come out the other side. That's incredibly empowering, even though it doesn't feel like it in the moment. The 3 of Swords can also represent the healing power of truth, even when truth hurts. Maybe you're seeing clearly for the first time in a while. Maybe illusions are being shattered. That's painful, but it's also liberating. You can't build a real life on false foundations. Your struggle is giving you the truth you need, even though it hurts. The 10th and final card is Ace of Pentacles, and I'm so glad this is where we're landing because it's such a card of new beginnings, opportunity, and material manifestation. The Ace of Pentacles represents a gift from the universe, a seed of potential that can grow into something really substantial and rewarding. The blessing in your struggle is that it's preparing you for a brand new beginning in the material world. Whether that's a new job, a business opportunity, improved finances, better health, or just a more stable and comfortable life situation, something tangible and positive is coming your way. Your struggle is the preparation phase, and the Ace of Pentacles is the reward. This card tells me that everything you're going through right now is not in vain. It's teaching you what you need to know, giving you the skills and experience you need, positioning you for an opportunity that requires exactly what you're learning right now. When that opportunity appears, you'll be ready for it in a way you wouldn't have been without this struggle. The Ace of Pentacles is also about new potential and possibility in the physical realm. So the blessing in your struggle is that it's opening you up to possibilities you hadn't considered before. Maybe you're discovering talents you didn't know you had. Maybe you're seeing opportunities that were always there, but you couldn't see them until circumstances forced you to look. Your struggle is expanding your sense of what's possible for you. This card speaks to grounding and practicality too. The blessing might be that you're becoming more grounded, more practical, more capable of handling the real world effectively. You're learning to work with physical reality instead of resisting it. You're understanding how to create tangible results through consistent effort. The Ace of Pentacles also represents abundance and prosperity consciousness. Your struggle is teaching you about your relationship with money, security, and material resources. Maybe you're learning to value what you have, or to be more resourceful, or to understand that true abundance comes from within. Whatever the lesson is, it's preparing you to receive and handle greater prosperity in the future. And finally, this card is about health and the physical body. So part of your blessing might be that you're becoming more aware of your physical needs, taking better care of yourself, understanding the connection between your physical well-being and your overall life satisfaction. Your struggle is teaching you to honor your body and your physical needs. So Taurus, when I look at all these cards together, here's what I see. The blessing hidden in your current struggle is multi-layered and profound. You're developing emotional authenticity, resilience, adaptability, vision, wisdom, the ability to make aligned choices, understanding of life's cycles, mental clarity, self-sufficiency, emotional depth, and you're being prepared for a beautiful new beginning. Your struggle is not a punishment or a sign that something is wrong with you. It's a transformation. It's a refinement process. It's the universe loving you enough to push you to become more than you were, to prepare you for blessings that require a stronger, wiser, more capable version of yourself. I know it's hard when you're in the middle of difficulty to see any blessing in it. But I really believe, based on what these cards are showing, that you're going to look back on this time and recognize it as one of the most important periods of your life. You're learning things that will serve you forever. You're developing qualities that will make your future so much richer and more fulfilling. So whatever you're facing right now, keep going. Trust the process. Know that you're exactly where you need to be, learning exactly what you need to learn. The blessing is real, even if you can't fully see it yet. And when you come out the other side of this, you're going to be amazed at how much you've grown and how much stronger you've become. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I really hope this reading brought you some clarity and comfort. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.